Hello everybody, and welcome to this tutorial on how to draw a geometric pumpkin. On the screen at the moment is 4 examples of some geometric pumpkins that I've done, and I'm going to show you how to draw the grid that creates the pumpkin. And then in future videos I'll show you how to do some of the decoration that I've done. So we've got a sort of spirally pumpkin and a watercolour pencil pumpkin, a watercolour pencil and a colour pencil pumpkin, and then a Jackman's crystalline watercolour pumpkin. So we'll cover those in future videos, but today we're going to cover just how to get the geometric grid down so you've got your outline for your pumpkin. My name is Emma. These hands belong to Emma from the Elkie Wild Art and the Colour Pencil Shop. Today I'm actually here on behalf of the UK Colour Pencil Society. Every month we give our members a technical challenge, and this challenge is for the October 2024 technical challenge. So we're going to challenge our members to draw a pumpkin and then do some fab decorations. So let's get started. I'm just going to move these pumpkin examples out of the way, and I'll just run through what you're going to need. So I've just got A4 printer paper here. That's what I'm drawing on today. I'd suggest, if you haven't done geometric work for a while, to have a practice run with this just to get used to using a compass, etc. So let me just run through the materials. So you're going to need a ruler. This is a 30 centimetre, oh, I've got that upside down. This is a 30 centimetre ruler. I'd suggest you use 30 centimetre to make your lines easier. You're also going to need a compass. So this is a Stedler compass. My favourite, actually. It's a really good compass. And within that I've got a pencil, and I'll talk about pencils in just a second because I'm just going to pull some more on. You'll also need another graphite pencil, so one in your compass, one separately. So for the graphite pencils, I would normally use a 2H in my compass and a H for the one in my hand, because they draw a lot lighter, and when you're doing a geometric grid, sometimes you don't want your line work too heavy. But for you to be able to see what I'm doing, I'm going to use a B and a HB pencil today. So just bear that in mind. If you want your line work to be a bit lighter, a H or 2H graphite pencil would be perfect. I've also got an eraser to hand, and also the Mono Zero eraser. So they're the bits and pieces I've got. So let's get going. So I'm just going to move some bits out of the way. So the first thing we want to do is get a horizontal line. That's the beginning of every geometric piece, really, is that horizontal line. So because I'm working on A4 and we're working landscape, we need to measure down halfway. So A4 is 210mm high, so we're just going to measure down to 10.5 centimetres. So I'm just going to mark there and then go along. That's it. And then we're just going to draw a line across the page. Now, one nifty trick with drawing lines and making sure you're drawing where you want to be drawing is to place your pencil tip onto where your line is, and make sure that the pencil's got enough space to draw through where your line is. If you go like right up to the line, so you're sort of right on it, your actual line will appear somewhere you don't want it to be. It will be a little bit out, and this will become really useful a little bit later on in the tutorial. So just bear that in mind. It's just a nifty trick to pop your pencil on where your dash is and make sure it's sitting right on it with your ruler pushed right up against that line, and then when you draw your line it will be exactly where you expect it and it won't have walked anywhere. So we've now got our horizontal line. What we're going to do is, we've got a little bit of dirt on there. What we're going to do is measure halfway across the page. We want our the centre of our pumpkin to be right in the middle. Now A4 is 297mm across, which doesn't divide very easily. So I would suggest that we put our centre point of the page on 14.8, which is pretty close to central as we can get it. So let's pop that there. You can see I've just made a little dash there. So when it comes to deciding what radius we want our circles to be, so by radius I mean half of the width of the circle, we're dictated by how big our page is. So this pumpkin is 4 times our radius when it's finished. That's the space it fills. So we want to make sure that that fits within 210mm. So say if we were doing 6 centimetres, 6 times 4 is 24 centimetres, so that would come off the page. So I'm going to go for a 4.5 centimetre radius, which will fit quite big on the page so you can see it. So what I'm going to do is just move my ruler fractionally, just so it's on a much nicer measurement. So I've put it onto 14.5, and I'm just going to mark where 10 is to give me that 4.5 radius, just like that. There we go. So we're now going to draw our first circle. So we want to make sure our compass is at that diameter. So the best way to do that, we've given ourselves all the information we need. We just need to pop our point on the centre line and then get it so it matches where that is, like this. You can see that. So then pop your compass point into that central point and swing your compass. That's the first. We're going to draw a circle. There we go. Now what we're going to do is draw a circle at east and west. So where the central horizontal line crosses our circle, we're going to pop our compass point there. And then we're going to draw a circle, and you should notice that your point goes right through that central line, like that. Then we're going to do the same at west, so onto that west point. Like so. We actually now have what's called 2 vesica Pisces, which is this almond shape. So we also now need to put a circle at north and south position. So we don't have a point on our circle here yet, but we're now going to make one. So we need to bisect these circles. So where you've got these points here and here, we're going to place the compass on there, right on that crossover point, and just draw just a little arc. And again on this side, a little arc. And you want to make sure that your lines cross over. We're going to do the same at south. So at the tip of these 2 almond shapes where the circles cross, pop your point on there, do an arc, just a little arc. This is only to guide us at this point, and we will rub these out in a moment. And another arc. Now what this does is gives us some guidance for where we draw a vertical line. Now remember earlier I was saying that when you put your ruler down, it's very easy to get your line slightly out of place, because if you put your ruler right through where those 2 arcs are crossing, and this line will run through our centre point, you can end up with a line that's slightly off because of the width of the pencil lead. It puts it slightly off. So what we want to do is just put our pencil point sort of where that centre cross is, and just push our ruler right up against it. And then we know that when we draw a line, just looking at the central point, because I'm not happy with how that's going to go through there. So again, you can make any adjustments, and this isn't a really accurate geometric drawing. We're really just using this grid to give us the basis of what becomes our pumpkin. So don't worry if it's not 100% accurate for this example. There we go, so we now have a vertical line. And then what we're going to do is, using those points we've just created at north and south, we're going to draw another circle. So point right onto where it's crossing over. So one at north and one at south. And you can see we've now got 4 circles, and we've got this really lovely flower shape. So there's lots that can be done with the geometry I'm showing you, lots of play that you can do. So I'm hoping you'll be really inspired with even just this little bit of geometry I'm showing you. So we're just going to rub out this cross, because we're not going to need that. We're going to keep our line though for now. That's it. So what we need to do now, we need some more circles to get this shape of the pumpkin sections. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. So in order to get the points on the circle we need to draw our extra circles from, we need to draw some lines. So we're actually going to take 2 diagonals through. So you can see that these petal shapes, these ones and these ones, everything lines up. So if we were to place our ruler on the 2 tips of those petals like this, and I'm just checking my positioning again. Once you get more seasoned with geometry, you'll be able to do this by eye. You'll sort of know what the width of your graphite lead is, and you'll just know where the ruler needs to be. But while you're learning, I'd suggest that you keep checking. So we just need to draw a line from the petal tip to petal tip like this, and you notice it goes through the centre. So we're just going to do the same in this direction. Again, just check you're happy with where your ruler's sitting, like so. Okay, so now we've got 4 more points. So we're going to go round in a clockwise direction. We're going to take the central circle is really key in this design. We're using this a lot to find our points. So this northeast point, we're going to take our point, our compass point, and put that onto there and draw another circle, like so. Then again in southeast. Again in southwest. Just going to darken that one up for you so you can see it. And then again northwest. Here we go. So you can see again a really pretty pattern that you could do lots with just as it is. So I decided to do an 8-sectioned pumpkin. So we actually need to do a few more circles. So we need some more points on our central circle. Now we've got all the information on the page again, because you can see we've got these smaller petals. So we're actually going to do another same process as we did on the 4 bigger petals, but on the littler petals now. So if I just start with this one, you can see when you run your ruler across, the lovely thing with geometry is everything runs in lovely lines once you can start to see it. So where these 2 smaller petals are, they actually now line up with these cross points on the outer circles. So we want to just draw a line from this side to this side, going through these petals. Now you may find in an ideal world, the line will cross exactly through each of the points. If yours don't, and they're not too off, they're just a little bit out, please don't worry, because as you'll see in a little bit when we draw our pumpkin in, these are just guides for us to help us. So if they're a little bit out, it really doesn't matter. So we're now going to draw a line for each of these petals. And you can see, like on this one, it's likely that maybe these might be a little bit out. But like I was saying, it doesn't matter for this. Here we go. So we now need to do these ones. So right through there. And this will all make sense in a moment why we're doing this. And then through here. Okay, so we've drawn our lines through these smaller petals. There's just one last thing we need to do before we're ready to add in our pumpkin segments. We're actually going to create the stalk, so that's this bit. Now this is completely whatever size you would like it to be. So I kind of just look and see what sort of looks aesthetically proportional. So I'm probably going to go for something like that and see how that looks. So I'm just going to put a circle in. Ooh, just slipped there. Happens to us all. There we go. Let me just remove my blender there. There we go. That's okay for now. You can see I think something's a little bit mucky there, but never mind. These can just be used as templates. I'll talk about that a little bit at the end. So what we now want to do is put in, or roughly draw in, our actual our segments. So we've got our stalk here. So I'm just gonna put, again, this can be whatever you like. And then to do your segments, what I'm going to suggest, you can see I'm working on the bottom one here. What I'm going to suggest is you draw a line. Now you could do this with a ruler if you wanted to. I'm just going to do it freehand. You want to come away from that line. So I'm working on this southern sort of triangular segment. You want to draw a line, maybe sort of 3 or 4 mil away from this guideline, and we're going to curve it to meet our outer circle, like so. I'm going to do the same on this side. And then we're just going to draw there, and then this bit will become our outer segment, like so. And then we're just going to do that all the way around. So same process in each of these segments. Across there. So I'm not turning my page here for the camera, but if I was doing this myself, I would be rotating the page so that it's easier to draw. And like I say, you could do these lines with a ruler and curve them. I mean, I've just noticed that I didn't curve this side as much as I would have liked. So I'm just gonna go back into that, like so. So really the geometry is acting as a guide to give you these equal sections. Go up there. Like so. And then You can see how the segments start to come to life. Okay, so I just wobbled a little bit there. So like I was saying, if I was doing this without the camera on, I would have turned my page now so that I could just draw a little bit more comfortably. So I encourage you to do that just so it's a little bit less awkward. Here we go, last segment. Again, you'll find your way, how you find it comfortable. I just tutted it myself there. Oh, I've got a little bit of green on my rubber, I think. There we are. And then what you can do is, if you don't want sort of separate lines like this, you can use a bit of the geometry to sort of fill in these little curves to make it look more like a full pumpkin. So it's just a case of sort of using the geometry as a guide. So all the information is there on the page for you, which is what's really lovely about this. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to get a brown brush sign pen pigment by Pentel. I really love these pens. And I'm just going to highlight some of the line work for you just to make it really clear. Obviously you may not want to do this if you're going to transfer it onto nicer paper, or indeed the line work can be really helpful just so you can see where to transfer. So you might like to transfer this onto some paper that will take watercolour pencils or watercolour paint indeed. So in future videos in this series, I'm going to show you how to do the spiral pumpkin, which I showed earlier in the video and just now. I'm also going to show you how to do a watercolour pencil where we wet the watercolour and then do some pencil detailing on top. So you can see the shape's really starting to come now. Now, like I've said earlier, I would just going to move this compass. I would be turning my page to do this. You'll notice that my line work is not as confident when I'm drawing at an odd angle. You're noticing I'm having to contort my arm a little bit to show you. So yeah, definitely keep rotating your page so that you're drawing comfortably. And obviously I would take a lot of time, a lot of care to get my line work really beautiful if this was going to be a final version of artwork. You know, this is more of a template really. You might find that you want to draw your geometric template, and then you can use this to trace and transfer, or with a light box, onto your other surfaces. So you've got a sort of, you know, a template that you can keep using again and again to do lots of experiments, which is what you've kind of seen me doing really with my different pumpkin options. Because I love the geometry, I tend to draw it out fresh every time, and you'll see me do that on all my examples. All my geometric line work will still be there because I really love the effect of leaving the line work there, and we will need it for the spiral pumpkin that we're doing. So I will ask you to draw all your geometric lines and circles and everything out fresh for that one, but we'll cover that. So there you go. So this is the basis of the geometric pumpkin. You can see how we've used the lines to give us guided kind of segments. So when you look at, if I just bring some of my examples back in, when you look at these examples, the geometry is all still there underneath. I've obviously done different things on each one. The spiral, as I was saying, is especially important that you leave your line work there, because we'll use the geometry to guide our spirals. So that's a really beautiful way to keep the geometry, and it really helps things to look aesthetic and balanced. That's what the geometry is really good at doing. Like I say, there'll be a separate video to show you how to do the spiral pumpkin. We'll also show you a video on how to do this version, which I haven't quite finished yet here. This is just watercolour pencil, this one. So it's just the geometric pumpkin, and then dry watercolour pencil put on, and then I've just added water to that, and I haven't done anything more to this one. This is sort of stage one, if you like. And then this one, I've done exactly the same but gone a bit further, and I've gone back in with dry colour pencil and started adding some patterning. And I will probably add in our little concave sections and make that look more pumpkin-esque. And then this one, there isn't any pencil in this one. This is actually just crystalline watercolour. I'm a big fan of the crystalline watercolour, and I love just playing with those colours. So this one is just that, and I probably will do a video on that as well, but obviously there isn't any colour pencil in this one. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you give this geometric pumpkin a go. So for October, for the members of the UK Colour Pencil Society, we're asking them to go a bit pumpkin potty, draw some pumpkins, have fun with applying pattern and colour. I mean, the colours in these ones are a little bit more like squashes, aren't they? So I mean, I'm really up for doing a tie-dye pumpkin. That was going to be fun. So it's really to have some fun with a seasonal topic, really. So I hope you enjoyed having a go at some geometry and getting your pumpkin down, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for now.